Hello everyone, welcome to Rol en L. I'm Sere Gras. You can call me Sere or Isma, whatever is best for you. And today we're here for the third tutorial for Sandbox, which is the system I've programmed for Foundry VTT to allow you to build any RPG system in the VTT. So I'm very happy today because you guys have supported me a lot this week. You've subscribed en masse to my Twitch channel, and I really appreciate that. It motivates me a lot to continue programming and to continue supporting Sandbox. Please continue that way, because I'm very happy for that, and you're being great this week. Honestly, thank you very much. Now, third tutorial. This time we're going to talk about cItems, but in an extended way, advanced cItems. Okay, so first we're going to start with a couple of tricks and tips, advanced tricks. Okay, now imagine that we want to create a table for the attacks of an NPC. Yeah. So we need the table, we need every row to have an editable field to write down the damage and a roll button to be able to roll the attack. Yeah. So first of all, we need to create a group. Let's go for the group. No, this is down. Yep, here. Groups English. So we're going to create NPC attack. And this is a group. Okay. As always, never forget about writing down your key for every sandbox element. So NPC attack group. Okay. Properties. Okay. So let's start with a property that's going to be called attack name. This is going to be ATK name as key. Going to be a text. Default is going to be attack. Tag attack name. Okay, and that's it. That's please, an icon. Icon. Whoop. Sorry, with my icons OCD. There it is. Okay, fantastic. First one. This is variable, as we want to be able to name every attack in a different way inside the actor. Let's duplicate this thing. Now, as I said, next one is going to be tag type. Tag type. This is going to be type. And this is going to be, get out of here, a list, and it's going to be melee ranged, for example, and melee by default. Tag type. This is going to be also variable, and we need two more things. A damage. DMJ. Yes. Yeah, default value 1d6, for example. Also variable. And finally, this is the good thing. Attack roll. Okay, so in order for a roll button to be displayed in table, you need to create it as a label. Okay, so attack roll out of here, and this is going to be a label. So attack roll, but this doesn't matter. We just roll. Yeah, that's it. Format is going to be a die, and we write down here rollable. So if we write here name and then attack damage, this was damage or attack? Attack row, damage row. Hey, no, sorry. Sorry. Attack damage row. Okay. So this is just going to be the damage. Okay. Let's leave it like that. So what is this? I'll explain this in detail in our next tutorial, which is going to be the role notations, role expressions tutorial. Okay. But for now, it's just bear with me. Yeah. And this is going to be 1D. No, sorry. It is just going to be, what was this one called? Attack damage. Yes, fantastic. Put it in here. All right. So in order for the table to display a button with a die icon, we need to create it as a label. This one doesn't matter if it's constant or variable because we can't change it. The formula of the role is fixed. So we have our group. Now we just need our table. So first of all, in our table, we're going to create our panel, which is going to be called NPC attacks panel. NPC ATK panel tags. All the width, just one column. And we need, oh yes, we introduce the panel icon. And now we need to create, as always, for table, a table property. So let me just duplicate something here. I know, not this one. This one. NPC attack table. So this is going to be NPC tag table as key. We'll remove the default value, the tag, max value, everything. This is going to be a table. So the group is going to be our recently created NPC attack. It's going to have a header. It's not going to be editable by player because only us, the GM, going to be able to see it. We are not going to display the name. Now you'll see why. Of the cItems. No units not needed. No activation. Fantastic. Fantastic. So let's just drag it. And let's add this new panel to, to our existing tab. Where is it? Panels. There's it. Okay, now, as always, we've changed a lot of things of our template actor, so we need to rebuild it. Guys, I've just changed this with the last update. So once you click here, you don't need to press F5 because we'll do it. Oh, I forgot the most important thing. Sorry guys, I didn't update. Okay, update to 0.1.5. Sorry, I completely forgot because I program in local. So yeah, where is it? Tutorial, here it is. Let's go back to our friend, the template. And once you click on here, boom, you don't need to press F5 because it's done automatically. So we open test actor. Here it is, our new table. But remember that when we have existing actors, we had to do this crazy thing, go back to default, and from default go back to template PC. Now you don't have to close the character sheet in between, yeah, because I've also fixed that. So yep, busy week. Okay, so now let's create here in cItems. Oh, this is chaos. Let me create a new folder called NPC attacks. I'm going to create a new one called attack NPC ATK1 cItem. And this is going to be one of our newly created groups. The attributes, this is going to be melee, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now, what happens here, my friends? So if I drag this in here, as you can see, many things happened. Now let me show you the template to explain you what has happened here. So for our newly created table, and I also need to show you the group. Where is the group? Here it is, and the properties. So we are not showing names. So as you know, the name of this attack, of this cItem, is called NPC attack 1. So the first column is hidden, so we don't see the NPC attack 1. Instead of that, the first property of this group, which is attack name, and this variable is displayed. So I can change this one for claws or something like that, okay, for this monster or whatever character it is. So we can change here if it's melee or ranged, because they're all variable, yeah, even the attack damage. And lastly here, the roll button, which is a label, yeah. Let's test that roll. Will it work? Boom, yes, it worked. NPC attack 1 damage, and is 1d6 because we have 1d6 here, yeah. So let me change it for 1d8. So if I roll here, I rolled 1d6 and the result was a 6. Okay, so this is a very nice trick to create dynamic tables with roles and with dynamic naming. What's pending of this? Okay, so the problem here, and I'll try to fix this in a couple of releases, so probably by 0.1.7 or 0.8 or 0.9, depending on my time. So the problem here is that if I drag NPC attack 1 again, it's not shown, yeah, because by default you can't have two identical cItems in an actor, yeah. If you do that, like you have here for the items, well, remember torch, yeah, if you do that, the only thing you do is to increase the number, yeah, but it's not displayed. So one option that I'm going to include here to be able to have repeating cItems in a character, in an actor, is I'm going to include an option here in mods, here up here, going to be a checkbox like repeating, and you can check it. So every time you drag a cItem that is already existing here, is going to be displayed in the table in a separate row. So with only one cItem, you can have loads of different rows for NPC attacks or spells or whatever you want to create, because your imagination is the limit here in Sandbox. Fantastic. So now that that's out of the way, let's go with the very important thing. Oh, before that, remember that in a cItem you can have auto properties that are related to each other, and that yeah, I'll explain this in the next one because you'll have to use role notations, but yeah, just forget about this. Okay, now the important bit, automation. So as I said in the previous tutorial, cItems are the basis of automation, but we haven't seen any automation yet, yeah. So how we can do that? Now let's create a race cItem, yeah. We had here dwarf cItem created from the other day, yeah, with the movement and everything. So how can dwarf edit my character? Yeah, let me change this so it doesn't look strange for a dwarf. By the way, I love Arknight's tokens, that they're the best. Dude, if you're watching my videos, I'm a big fan of yours. Please release more of these tokens. I'm in love with them. Yeah, this is dwarf female, I think. Was it? No, this was underground. There it is. Dwarves. This guy will do. Sorry. Okay, so how can a cItem modify a character? We need to define two things. First of all, the type of cItem execution, which is this first thing here. It can be passive, activation, or consumable. Let's look into this with an example. Now imagine that you want every dwarf cItem to increase an attribute or a property of the cItem, of the character. Now I want my dwarfs from this game to increase my body 5 points. Yeah? So I'm going to leave this as passive. I'm going to create a mod. So as I said, there are two things that you need for cItem to modify things. One is the execution type, this passive activation consumable. And the second is to create a group of mods by clicking this button. Now you do the following. When you click a new mod, this table appears. The first field is the description of your modifier, of your mod. This will be increase body. This is just a regular description by 5. Yeah, okay. And the type, this is very important. I'll explain this now, but first an example for the passive. This will add a number to a specific attribute. So ignore the second row here and we go into the attribute key. What is the key for body? Go to the property body. The key is body. Whoa, that was very, very original, Ceregras. Okay, body, and we increase it because we included add by 5. Okay. So let's test this. Let's drag dwarf into this, and attention, pay attention to the body attribute. You've seen this? It has increased by 5 points. Yeah? It has increased by 5 points. This is amazing. And you can see the difference because now it's green, because the actor is telling you, hey, there is a cItem here that has increased this value. If it was red, the value would have decreased. Okay? So no matter how I change this, if I change this to 7, oh, 77, no, 7, and I hit enter, it changes to 12. Why? Because 7 plus 5 is 12. Okay? Amazing, isn't it? Okay, so why passive? Because you don't need to activate the cItem. It always going to execute the modifiers, no matter what. Yeah. So it doesn't matter. It always going to display, to execute this +5 to an attribute you choose. And you can have as many modifiers as you want here, okay? And you delete them with this button. Okay. Now, this was our first example for passive, passive types cItems. Yeah. Now, what's the second type? Activation. Now, my friends, let me explain you this with another example. So I'm going to create a cItem that is going to be called chainmail. It's going to be a cItem, and it's going to be going to be an object. Basically, I want it to appear here, but I'm going to make some changes here. Going to make some changes, but just display changes. Yeah. Okay, so chainmail, let me change the icon. Icons, armor. Did I have some armor? Yeah. This will do. Okay. Mods. This is going to be activation one. Yeah. What does this mean? That in order for the modifiers, for the mods that are going to be down here below this execution type, we need to manually activate them. We're going to create a new mod, which is going to be called description, doesn't matter, increase armor by 4. So we want to increase this property by 4 points. What was that property? Armor property. What's the key? It's going to be armor. Yes, for sure. Great job, Ceregras. Armor and 4 points. There you are. Now, there's a problem in here. What's the problem with this? Where did I create this? Oh my god, where is that? Where did I create this? In NPC attacks? Oh yeah, sorry. I'm gonna move it down here. Sorry. So if I drag this here, it appears here, but there's no way of activating it. Why is that? Well, that's very simple, my friends, and I'm going to explain this right now. We lack a column, a very important column if you want to have cItems displayed, activatable cItems displayed. That column that you miss, where is it? Inventory table, is called show activation. Yeah, but unfortunately there's little room here, so I think I'm going to remove the repair column. I'm going to show the activation here, and in the group, which is the object group, I'm going to remove repair score. Well, I'm not going to remove it, I'm just going to make property hidden so it won't display in the table. Now, with all these massive changes, we need to rebuild the template. Rebuild, magic automatic F5. We go back to test actor. Look at this. Well, there's not much room because I forgot about users too. Yeah, well, I don't have time now to rebuild these panels and make them smaller, but you get my point. So you have active here, yeah? And let's check on the chainmail cItem. We're telling it that we need, when activating it, we are going to increase armor by 4 points. Activation is a column that always shows a checkbox. So you either have the cItem active or inactive. So pay attention to this, if I check active, armor should increase by 4 points. And booyah, and you see, it's green. Now, this could serve you for things like equipping armor, obviously, and for other things too. So effects and things like that, maintain spells, whatever, your imagination is your limit. So if I deactivate it, armor goes back to 0 points. Isn't it this awesome? It's incredible. Now, what is this thing of the role below the activation? I'll explain you that in detail next time, yeah? But let's continue with the mods. Now, we've seen the activation type. What about the consumable type? The last of our 3 types. We're going to create a cItem called healing potion. Healing potion. Oh, I didn't write anything. Oops. Healing potion. That's it. It's going to be a cItem. Create the item. It's going to be an object because we want it displayed here. So config groups object. Okay. Let me introduce here a good icon. Where is it? Where's potion? I had a lot of potions. Where are they? Ah, here they are. Okay. Now, this is going to be consumable. Now, we have a lot of options for consumable. Okay. First of all, permanent. What does this mean? It means that the effect of this cItem is maintained even after we delete the cItem from the actor. This is what we want for a healing option, for a healing potion. So when we activate it, we want the hit points to be increased. But if the healing potion is destroyed or disappears right after, we want those hit points that we've gained to remain there. Yeah, so that's why it's permanent. When to use non-permanent? I don't know, for temporary spells, for example, temporary effects, yeah, that disappear once you remove, for example, rage, barbarian rage. Not exactly consume. Well, it will be an infinite consumable. Yes, yeah, that is a good example. Yeah, that once you lose the rage cItem, the effects will get removed. Icon is a little icon that is going to be displayed in the active column. You can choose between a book, a vial, or a star. Let me choose a vial. Is it rechargeable? So why is this for? If you click on this, once you use all the uses, because a consumable cItem has uses, has a specific number of uses. If you use up all the uses of the cItem, if uses gets to 0, the cItem will destroy itself from the actor. If you click rechargeable, if the uses get to 0, the cItem will not disappear, will stay there, because you will be able to recharge it. Why is this useful? For example, I don't know, charge magic items, for example, a ring of spells, or I don't know, ring of fireball, that you can recharge it in I don't know, in magic towers, whatever. Yeah, so rechargeable effects. Uses, so the maximum number of uses by default that this cItem has. If you go with 0, it will have infinite uses. Yeah, but we don't want an infinite uses healing potion, so it's going to have only one use. Roles, so I'm going to write in the name healing potion, get healing. You not always have to fill the role of a consumable item or a cItem. This is absolutely optional. So what does this mean? So when you consume it, when you click on it, a role is going to be executed. Yeah, but if this is empty, no role is going to be executed. Yeah, but I want to execute a role. Yeah, so no, I don't want to. This is going to be in the next tutorial. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Do I? No, yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I'm a little bit dizzy today. Now we create a new mode, which is going to be an add type. Increase hit points by 8. So how did I call HP? Surprise me, Ceregras. Did you call it HP? Did you? Yes, you did call it HP. So I'm going to increase HP. Remember that here in the mod table, you don't need to add the add or the hash, just the name or the key of the attribute. Here in value, yes. Here's if you want to include a formula. We'll see that in the next tutorial. You will need to add all. It has support for all role formulas. So the value is 8. Okay. So now if we drag healing potion to our character, here we have healing potion. Oh, you see there was little room for it, but don't worry, we can see it here. So for healing potion, in the activation column we have a vial. We have a vial icon like we selected here. Uses, the maximum uses here is fixed, is 1, and the current number of uses, remaining uses, it displays on the left. And now check on this. So we have 0 H points. So if I click on the active, what will happen? So let's see. Obviously we lost the healing potion. We lost it. Why? Because it only has 1 maximum uses, and as it is not rechargeable, the healing potion just self-destroyed. But as you can see, our healing points just increased. hit points just increased by 8 points, which is what we chose here. This is amazing, guys. This is incredible. Okay, I'll keep this cItem here for next tutorial to explain you with the role notations. Yeah. So now we've seen the 3 types of execution types of cItems: passive, activation, and consumable. Now let's deal with the mod types. These guys here will let us create anything or automate anything we want. Absolutely anything. Let me remove these 2 things because I don't have that much space. And I'm going to create a new table called traits. But no. Before that, let's go through this. Yeah, let's go through the types. So, as I said, 2 very important things for automation on cItems. 1, execution type, which can be passive, activation, or consumable, as you can see here. The second important thing, a group of mods. You can have as many as you want. Mods have 4 types. First, add. You've seen this one in the examples. It increases an existing attribute of the character. That attribute needs to exist, yeah, and you have to reference it by the key. Now, second type is set. Oh no, set. So by being a dwarf, let's say that you set the maximum HP. No, let me do something simpler. I don't know. We set the mind to 8. Yeah. So description here sets mind to 8. I think this is going to be mind, but Telegraph, I don't know. To 8. Now we remove dwarf from here, and if we drag dwarf again, you see mind is in green. I need to change this. This is a little bug. I intended for set to be always orange. Well, guys, let me know what you think for colors on set attributes, or just to maintain the green for increased set, but set is very relative. I think the better option is to change it to orange, but it doesn't matter. As you can see, it sets mine to 8. So if I try to change mine to 4, it doesn't let me. It goes back to 8 because we are dwarfs, and a dwarf sets the mine to 8. That's the second type of modifier. Okay, now third time. For the third time, my friends, we are going to need that table, that new table I was talking about. I'm going to create a new group called traits. The group. Yeah. This is trait group. Okay. And I'm going to create a new table, which is going to be called traits table. This is traits table. No default value, nothing here, and this is a table. We're going to drag our newly created traits group in here, and we're going to let me see this as header. No, we don't need a header there. Do we need the item names? Yes. Do we need to show units? No. Is editable by the player? No. Okay, fantastic. So now I want it displayed here right under the inventory table, and this I think is a multi-panel. Let me see if I created this as a multi-panel. English multi-panel A inventory. No, this is not a multi-panel. I don't want to create a multi-panel now. You know what, guys? I'm going to remove sorry, I'm a bit lazy today. I'm going to remove this panel, the inventory panel, from here, and I'm going to substitute it by this newly created where's it? I haven't created a traits panel, so let me create a traits panel. No, it's going to be based on inventory panel. Oops, what did I do? Oh, I pressed escape, sorry. Duplicate inventory panel. It's going to be called traits panel, and remove this property. Going to add our newly created traits table, and this is going to be called traits panel 1/3. Okay, fantastic. So traits panel is going to go where our old inventory panel was, and after all these changes we are going to rebuild our template PC. So let me check on test actor. Yes. Oh, wait a second. Traits panel. Why does it appear like this? Ah, I didn't include. I think I didn't include. You see a title. So I'm going to write down here traits. Okay. Sorry, I should have created this in advance, but I'm an improviser myself. Okay, here is traits and this thing. Let me change back to default and change back here just in case. Now, let me remove dwarf from here. Now, so I want the cItem, the dwarf cItem, to do the following. So I'm going to create a new cItem called dark vision. And this is going to be a trait. You can see in the dark, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah. Let me include a cool icon. Fantastic. Yeah. So this is a trait I just created. Let me drag the traits group. Okay, here it is. Okay, so I want my dwarfs to have dark vision trait cItem every time I create a dwarf. Yeah. So how can I do that? We create a new mod type, which is going to be called adds dark vision cItem. Yeah. And this is the item mod tab. So this changes completely. And now here, the selector field. So if I write down 0, all the cItems that I drag here are going to be added automatically to the actor. So I drag here dark vision, and now I drag dwarf here. Ta-da! So I drag the dwarf. Now it executes the +5 to body, sets mine to 8, and includes and adds the dark vision trait here. Amazing. And all, which is this. Now what happens if I change select into other thing? Now let me create two cItems, two traits that are going to be called, let me duplicate this, and that's it. Mountain dwarf. Yeah. And this is going to be called hills dwarf. Yeah. Okay, so I create a new mod. It's also going to be an item mod. The description is choose between hills or mountain. Yeah. Now, so if we type anything else than 0 for our select number of items in our item mode, it will make the player or whoever opens this character sheet for a number of items between all of the cItems that are going to be dragged here. So if I include 1 here and drag mountain dwarf, hills dwarf, if I drag dwarf back into the actor, it is going to make me choose between one of these two traits. Now let's try that. So I drag dwarf here. You see this sign here appeared. This means this is an alarm that tells the player or the GM that, hey, this actor needs to choose between things. If I click it, this dialog pops up and it makes me choose one item from the below, mountain or hills dwarf. So if I choose mountain, I can click OK, but if I click hills, I cannot click OK because you have to choose only one. So let's go for the mountain dwarf and boom, it adds it here and this disappears. Isn't it amazing? This is very useful, for example, when leveling up. How? Now let me explain you. So, let me explain you. This is going to be a complicated example, but no. Let me remove this one. Yeah, I'm going to remove dwarf from here. I'll remove this mode here. I'll leave dark vision for the time being. Now imagine that we want our body increase only if we reach a specific level. It's a kind of similar example that I was trying to go to, but that would also work here with cItems. So here we have a row that's called if. We have to include here a conditional attribute, an attribute. So if, how did I call level? What's the level property key? Level. Okay. So if level is higher than 1, then this cItem will execute. Let's try it. Okay, so if I drag dwarf with level 1, you can see here that the body has not increased. Okay. Now, if we increase the level to 3, boom. Now we add the 5. Yeah. And if we remove the dwarf race, yeah, you see, it's not applied anymore. Let's go back to level 1 and drag the dwarf back here. Yeah. So as you can see, and if I remove it, nothing happens to body. The only way it happens is if this condition is fulfilled. So if level 2, for example, yeah, you see, we add the 5. Woof, guys, this will give you many options and possibilities. So I'll let you go with it right now. Let you bash your heads and think about this and all the options you'll have. And well, we're coming close to the final basic tutorials. So there's only one left, which will be role expressions, and be ready because that one will make your head explode more even than this one. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your support and see you soon.